Thank you, Dennis. Hello and welcome to Unity Center of Des Moines. I am Stevie Lang and we are so glad you joined us. I just saw some littles come in and I want you to know there is a little table in the back. And when after I'm done with announcements and stuff, I have like some puzzles and things that they can do. So just give me a minute. I just saw you, but we'll give you something for the littles to do. We're so glad that you're here. If there's anyone who has joined us for the first time today and wasn't aware, as you came in, there's little packets that say Unity, and they tell you more about the Unity movement. There's some affirmative prayer in there and some just information to learn more about what goes on around here. You can also go to our website at unitydesmoines.com. You can sign up for the newsletter and see all the events that are coming up. We just want you to know that Unity Center of Des Moines is a diverse community that is committed to living a positive spiritual path. And we welcome you just as you are, recognizing that each person is on their own unique spiritual journey. So with that, we begin with song. Our first song is going to be I Am Light. And I love it when you sing along. The lyrics are going to be up on the screen. And Susan Kellogg is going to lead with her voice. Oh, thank you so much to the music team. We got Deb Jennings on piano and Dennis on guitar. We are so blessed to have you guys play today. And I am is one of the most powerful affirmations that we can say. Whatever you put after that resonates with you. So, announcements. There's a potluck after the service today. And even if you didn't know, you're welcome to eat. So there's always plenty of food, and that's why we got tables going on. The food will be in the community room off to the side, and then help yourself there. And then later today at 4 p.m., Deb Jennings and Steffi Ann are going to have what's called a Soulful Sunday. It's a restorative yoga sound experience. The details are on the website if you want to learn more about that. That is at 4 p.m. today in the sanctuary. We also need more volunteers for treats, greeting, and promotion of the Spirit Seekers Fair #1, and also just letting people know what we're doing here. Elena has invested in some tech equipment she's going to talk about at our community meeting, but she's leading that charge of getting us organized and creating some social media content where we speak from our hearts and get people to resonate and recognize like, wow, these are real people with real feelings that are vibing in love. And whatever your message is, whatever's true for you, we wanna talk about how we can spread the word. We also want to invite people to share their celebrations. We call this a celebration service because we have things to celebrate. And I can open with one, gratitude for everybody that helped last week when I was not here. I did not think that I was ever gonna have a relationship with my family again. Like, I really didn't. I didn't even think that. And last week, with the passing of my mom, I was able to show up in love and just receive love back, and there was no ick. It was just love. I did lose my mom, but in a lot of ways, I gained my niece and my nephew and family in a way that I had never thought possible. And that is something to celebrate. I feel like it's a miracle in me, and it's a miracle in them. And I just feel saying we open miracles and flush resentments because they don't keep you safe. So, who else has got something to celebrate? It can be as simple as the sunrise. Yes, Sharon, go ahead.
Or as complicated as Linda's second chemo treatment was Friday.
Okay.
And so her stomach's hurting today and stuff like that. But I gotta tell you, and maybe some of you have seen it, she's lost most of her hair now. And in my estimation, Linda's hair was always very noticeable.
Yes.
And she has decided all of these ways to wrap a scarf around.
Absolutely.
And put this on and put that on and just go out without anything on. And she is doing, it hurts, but she's doing so much better, and her numbers this last couple of days. I'm not saying the cancer's going away, but she's dealing with it.
We celebrate Linda and the life she's living and all that she's given, the way she shows up and the way she shows to express herself and be creative no matter what you're facing. She lives life to the fullest.
And
yeah,
she is just fantastic.
Celebrate Linda. If you happen to see this, Linda, we love you and we're praying for you.
Yes.
All right, what other celebrate? Yes, go ahead, Judy.
I might as well just say it. I'm 83 this week.
I think you might get to say happy birthday then. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Many more. Yes. And Judy's got some exciting stuff to share at the circle after the potluck today too. So, all right, any more celebrations?
Oh, yeah, I got it set.
So yes,
2 eyes.
2 eyes.
I also celebrate this community. You've been so kind and giving me so much support these last 6 months, and I love being your song leader, and I really appreciate you all being here. And now I can see very clearly most stuff. Glasses, and that's all
All right, thank you, Susan. Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
I got my truck back after not working since.
Oh, wow. Back since May. All right, well, we are just ready for the spiritual new year that was on September 1st and welcoming abundance into our lives. The special events coming up soon. The second video on a Force More Powerful series is tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. right here in the sanctuary. Doug Reddick is showing the series on the big screen. And last week I saw a lot of smiles and a lot of comments about how good the discussion was. So 6:30 p.m. And if you're curious about what that means, you can read about it in the newsletter. A Force More Powerful is what the series is called. Next Sunday, somehow already it is the fall equinox. So September 21st, there is the fall equinox big pyramid event right here in the sanctuary. I talked about how powerful the one for the Lionsgate was for me. So if you've never been and you're feeling a nudge, I encourage you to listen to it. It is a powerful, energetic event, and that's at 4 p.m. with Laura Jones and Deb Jennings. Again, you can read more about it in the newsletter. I'm also very excited to announce, Vivian will talk more about this after the potluck, but there is an intro to Unity class that is going to be starting September 21st, going 3 weeks after the service on Sunday. And Vivian will talk more about what to expect there, but just know, mark your calendars, that's happening. Even if you have attended a new member class before, this is going to be a deeper dive because it's the 3 weeks and there'll be resources that you can do some self-study with, and very excited. Vivian's been working very hard on what to include and tuning into spirit on what to include as well. Our regular events are all in the calendar, unitydesmoines.com. Our newsletters there, information about the Spirit Seekers Fair is there, all kinds of stuff, and you can see who next week's speaker is as well. Also, last note, prayer requests. As you came in, there are little cards for prayer requests, and there are also big sheets where you can write down suggestions that you have or feedback that you have on things you enjoy, things that really resonated with you. Also, the request to be on the newsletter list or to be contacted. There's all that information right as you came in, and then that box right under that payment in the back. If you just slip it in there, we will get it. We will be in communication, and we are already ahead of time grateful for all of your feedback and contributions. Let's do our statement of faith. It will show up on the screen here. If you can say it all together. There is only one power active in my life and in the universe, the divine source of all life and love. Next, the unity affirmation. And as we say this, if you could really allow the feeling of oneness to fill you. Unity of Des Moines is a radiating center of the divine light, mighty to attract its good and to radiate good to others. And with that spirit of oneness, if it feels right to you, I invite you to uncross your arms and legs, really settle into your chair, and send love and light to the following people: Alexander, Brittany, Seal, Deja, Dawn, Deb and family, Demi, Christina, Marilee, Sarah and family, Celine, Scott, and people with struggles we know nothing about. Now we're going into a time of meditations. Go ahead and get comfortable in your chair. Sink deeply into it, let it support you. Let your body begin to completely relax. Bring the awareness to your breath, breathing in and out, elongating the exhale. Slowing the breath down. Breathing in peace, calm, and relaxation. Letting go of anything no longer serving you on that out breath. And then breathe in unconditional love for yourself. Loving and accepting yourself just as you are in this now moment. And breathe out gratitude for this time to come together in community today. Each of you are a beloved child of the universe, with the divine spark of life in every cell of your body. You are enough. You are deserving. You are worthy. So let's take a few more breaths before we continue to Breathe in self-acceptance, celebrating ourselves, loving ourselves. No matter what is going on in the world around us, we can come within and center ourselves in this peaceful calm and practice loving ourselves. And we'll do that in silence for a moment. The Course in Miracles says there is only fear and love, and to always choose love. So as we continue to love ourselves and expand that unconditional love within our own hearts, we're able to show that to the world together. And I invite you to do this practice just for this amount of time, any time during the day, perhaps in the morning before you get up for the day or as you go to bed at night. Feeling gratitude for your life, for every moment. All we have is the present moment right now. So make the most of that moment. And as you gently bring your awareness back to the breath and become present in your body again, feeling balanced, aligned, centered, and grounded. Relax, refresh, restore, renewed, and rejuvenated. And come back fully present with great gratitude for our community. The daily word for today is taken from 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, which says, "For God did not give us the spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and of self-discipline." If I want to have a greater, more expansive experience in life, I must be brave and move beyond the trepidation that holds me back. I do not judge myself for hesitating, but I don't let it stop me. Instead, I take my reluctance as a cue to call upon the strength of God within me to push past my fear and move forward. So my life lies on the other side of my fear. I believe I am meant to live a fulfilling, satisfying life. Whether I'm interested in having grand adventures or simply stepping out of my comfort zone and trying new things, I can rely on the divine within as I summon the courage to do new things. I affirm, I am brave. As this becomes the truth of my heart, my experience of life expands. So the affirmation that goes along with this, I'll say it once, and then if we can all say it together, is this. Through the power of God within me, I am brave. Through the power of God within me, I am brave. All right, thank you, everyone. And now let's have another song. This one is How Could Anyone? Of the living waters, You were anything less than beautiful. Not that anyone ever tell you you were the best at home. How could anyone fail to notice that your love is a miracle? How deeply you are connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your love is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Oh, I love that song. And I was just singing it to myself this morning. So thank you so much. And it is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, our very own Doug Ward, who has his own story to tell. You can read more about him in the newsletter. And he is going to talk on the topic of, I just closed my thing, what's the title?
Fear of not being enough.
Our fear of not being enough. Please give a round of applause to Doug Ward.
Yeah, I'm kind of an old Mormon, and the way we did our speeches, we always had a microphone right in front of us. There we go.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, good. And unfortunately, the camera only sees me from here.
That's not true. I got you covered. You're blessed with height.
I noticed that when Steve was standing up here and I was looking and I was like, wow, that's really good. You don't realize how tall you are.
Yes.
You know, everyone looks normal to you.
Right.
And you don't think that you're abnormal, so, you know. But, you know, well, I was not, it was, this is not the week I would have chosen to start doing public speaking again. And especially I was concerned about the topic of fear not being enough. You know, many years ago, I listened to a monk from Tibet, and he said that all actions in the world come from a place of love and fear, one or the other. And when we boil everything down to the core, that is where we navigate from. We navigate our world through those two motivations. And this has been a week of fear in our nation. Shootings, stabbings, the anniversary of 9/11, they all come from the motivation of fear. In fact, the first time that I asked my wife out, I was motivated by fear. And, you know, you're probably thinking, you know, yeah, you're always afraid, but as I said, we were both raised Mormons. We were at BYU, and I was a resident assistant. And I was doing my rounds, and I came downstairs, and my soon-to-be wife was bent over the window talking to the other guy who was on shift with me. Now, Warren, I didn't like. The reason I didn't like Warren is because I had broken up with a girl the day after he asked her out. And that is a major violation of the bro code. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. You must have 3 days between your bro asking out, you know, another girl. So he was on my hate list. So I saw he was trying to ask her out, even him and hawing and going on. And I thought, you know what? Wrote a note, handed it to her, said, "You want to go out Friday night?" She wrote back, "Yes." And I said, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I wrote another note, "What's your name?" And honestly, that was the first and only time I ever did that, and it worked. So we went out Friday night, but Warren called her up and asked her out for Thursday night. And so for 2 weeks, my wife played us. And she went out every night for 2 weeks between her, me, and Warren. And all the girls on the floor were so jealous. So very, very jealous that she was going out every night. But then you know who won.
Yeah.
But the reason I was angry at Oren was because I was doubting myself. I was afraid that I'd make a mistake, that is this girl gonna think, oh, he's so much better than I was? And she's like, glad he broke up with me because he's such a jerk and Oren's so awesome. And I took all that fear and I projected it onto him. He was just doing whatever, I would have done the same thing in his place, asked somebody out I thought was cute. So that made me think about, excuse me, I'm sorry, I lost my place here. So that kind of made me think about what was happening this week and how we came and how we are at this moment viewing. If I can get back, eventually, Janelle and I got married 10 months later. We were married in the Mormon Temple in Denver, and we started living the Mormon dream. And unfortunately, in 2019, that dream started to break down. It had been breaking down for quite a few years. But the promises made you're seeing were just promises, and there was no reality. And my wife calls them pipe crust promises. Easily made, easily broken. And so I'll never forget, we left Bishop's office, and that would be our preacher, or sermon. The bishop is the head guy in that local unit. And I felt this weight lift from me. And that weight was, no one's going to judge me anymore. No one's going to say you're not doing enough. And I was like, oh, yes. And I was very naive. I was very naive because I was talking to Stevie and she pointed out, we live in a society, a consumerism society which constantly tells you you're not enough. And the reason why it's telling you you're not enough is because they need to sell you things.
That's right.
Because if they don't sell you things, they can't pay people. And if they can't pay people, then you can't buy things. And so that's why you get the message, you're not enough, so you need a new car. You're not enough, so you need new clothes. You're not enough, your hair isn't enough, you're too fat, you're too thin. Not enough muscles, enough figure, whatever it is. And then the implied promise to that is if you get it, you'll be enough. And that's the lie.
Yeah.
Because nothing outside you can fill that, can make you enough. So why is this happening? Why is this constant message of you're not enough? This might be short. This that is happening to us. You can thank our tree swinging ancestors for that. And the reason why is because they learned that being negative, looking for problems, the watch out brain is what I like to call it, that's alive. Because if you are coming up to a boulder and you think, oh, there must be berries on the other side and there's a tiger, you're not enough because you're now eating. Okay. But if you think, oh, there might be a tiger on the other side of that boulder, I should be more careful. You are enough because you didn't get eaten. Okay. And as I said, I call that the watch out brain. And it is millions of years of programming built into us for good reason. We have, the younger people today are the first generation to live in society where the dangers of our environment have been negated. When I was a young man, I remember getting a shot for polio. And, I talked to my granddaughter, she had no idea what is polio.
Yeah.
The last polio survivor died about 6, 7 years ago. Was in one of those iron lungs. The 4th of July used to be called the Death of July. Because so many people would, die of tetanus or lockjaw is what they call it. Because we didn't have a vaccine, we didn't have anything to understand. We didn't know that it was a mold that blossomed during that time that got on things, and when you poked yourself, and that's what people doing on the 4th of July, they're going out having fun and made a little cut, and that's, they got lockjaw. So, and if you think about it, our generation, when they teach you, you get lost in the woods, you go find a river, you follow the river down, and you'll find the environment. Does that work today? No, because the river is going to keep you down in the valley, and your cell phone wants you to be up high. Okay. And so, teaching someone that, it's like, yeah, you probably would get found faster if you went up on top of the hill and see if you can get a cell phone signal, because you probably don't have a cell phone. And not only that, but we've built so many things now that you probably could walk 10 miles to hit a road. In my time, that wasn't the case. There's a few places still left, but you purposely have to go to those places to hike into them. So you're probably going to be very aware. So that watch out brain is finally hitting a technological place, but it's still important, because how many people have seen people walking down the street with their
Oh, absolutely.
right there,
Yeah.
looking right on front of the car?
Yep.
And why is that happening? Because we are losing contact with the watch out brain. And we are thinking we're teaching our kids everything the same. And that's not exactly the correct way to go about the world, because we do know there might not be tigers around the rocks, but there might be cars. Now, one of the things that I remember was that we reinforced this with our children. I remember my daughter, Ashley, she did not understand the concept of, why can't I run out in the street? We lived in an area that was pretty sheltered, and cars came in the morning, came at night, and then the rest of the time she just ran out. And I remember coming home and seeing her on the porch, and I knew what she would do. She's gonna run down there, run out on the street. So don't do this at home, but I sped up the car just a little bit. And just as she gets to the sidewalk, I hit the horn, she startles, she stumbles, I hit the brakes, a little bit of a squeal on the tires. Her eyes light up, and oh my goodness, she runs inside. And she's crying because her knees are scabbed, but she never ran out the street again. I had tried talking to her, I tried spanking her, I tried punishing her. Didn't make a difference. It was that experience that the watch out brain finally kicked in and said, oh, I gotta watch out for that, because that could have really hurt me. And so it's part of us, and I don't think it's something we should fight against, because it's kept us going and it's kept us alive. Unfortunately, people have learned that if they can make you feel like you're not enough, they get power over you. If they can look you in the eye and make you feel like, gee whiz, you should be more like me because I'm enough. Don't you wish you could be better? And then what happens is maybe you resist at first, but then we're like, maybe that little whisper in the back of our head starts happening. So, well, give me a second. I think I mixed up my papers here. Oh well. So, and that's the trick of the watch out brain, is that it does that little whisper, and that's what gives that so much power. And the thing is the whisper doesn't say, oh, you're not. It just asks questions. And the question is like, are you sure? Or how do you know? Remember last week? I'm sure each one of you can think about the whispering question that haunts you, that makes you feel like, hmm. And what is the power of it is that the question, you can't answer it with 100% surety that you are right. Because we know from reality that even if there's a 1% chance, nature has a way of making that 1% chance happen at some time. And so that then we're like, oh, gee whiz, I'm not 100% sure, so how do I know? And then we get into the spiral thing in our head, like, oh, maybe even 10%, oh, no, not that way. I'm sure I'm just not enough. I'm just positive. Oh man, they're right. Oh my goodness, why was I fighting that? And then we hand that over and we go buy a new car. We buy the new clothes, get the operations, more muscles, more figures. Because we're trying to feed, we're trying to stop that whisper. So, what do we do? How do we work with this? I found that the Zen idea of letting the watch-out brain run its program. And the way they describe it is that you're inside your head is a computer. And if you notice, when you look at a computer screen, you can get a program, you can put it up in the corner, little window, and let it run. And their idea is do that. Don't fight it, put it in the corner and watch it. Let it run.
Observe it.
Yeah, observe. Very good. Yeah. And I tried this and it lasted 5 minutes. And I said, oh, well, that's going to work really good. And I thought, you know what? Anything I got good in my life, I had to practice.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let's try this again. 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Eventually, I started getting better and I could put it up there and maybe last a couple of hours. The real challenge came when the stress came and I let that program run. Was screaming at me. My logic brain said, you're okay, but the program's screaming at me. It lasted about an hour of that. But I celebrated, hey, I lasted an hour. And as time has gone on, I've gotten a little bit better. Am I perfect? No. And that's why I'm giving this talk. Okay. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm not exactly up here to help everyone. I'm more here to flesh out these ideas in my head to help me be enough. So, I don't know, that's gonna give you some ideas of things that you could do. And I already mentioned about putting the program up and then don't try to block it. One of the things I'm gonna mention is the lack of yourself. But let me open up. What are some ideas that you have on how to deal with your not enough or the watch out brain?
This is where my spirituality has, like, what's evolved over time is that I'm not the one keeping me safe. The divine, the creator, the source of life, what makes the sun rise and the moon rise, and that's what's keeping me safe. And that's what I'm in connection with, that knows all and sees all. And whatever situation I'm coming across, I find my sense of safety and connecting and going, what's my next right thing? Instead of knowing, because you don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how many breaths we have. We don't, trying to control or judge or measure exactly what's going to happen. I 100% agree. There's no 100% sure, right? But I am 100% sure that I've been carried through every single dangerous thing I've ever experienced. And here I am today. And then I've just been watching more miracles happen. So that's my answer.
Can I sum it up? It's interesting because I was talking to my granddaughter this morning and she was talking about what she's planning this and she's doing this little thing. And then I said, well, don't you trust yourself? Oh, no, I don't trust myself. And that's what you're really saying, is you're trusting in letting you have enough to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, if you didn't trust yourself, why did you try to get it? She's really good at it. She, I mean, 12-year-old kid, really good at it. And I said, well, that's interesting. Well, if you didn't believe in yourself, you wouldn't have tried it. Oh, yeah. Why even advance math? Why would like math? Yeah, but you're going to class, there might be people smarter than you in there. You might not be as bright, you might get answers wrong. Why would you do that? Well, I want to learn. Oh, you mean you believe in yourself enough to try to learn. So I think what you're saying is believe in yourself and in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other ideas?
Yeah, what Stevie was saying, one of the practices I've learned many years ago was a little technique. And it was introduced to me called polarity switch. And so if I can, and in many environments where there's stress, that little voice starts yapping at you and comparing and contrasting and competing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm feeling stuck and trapped. Change it. So if it's like, we're not good enough to come together and make a solution here. I put it in another frame. I said, I am perfect for what I've come to do and you are too. So
Yes.
let's get together.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like you shift it. You have to fill that hole. Because
Yeah.
it's just gonna keep rattling on in your brain because the brain isn't in charge. And that's the other thing I want to share. The brain is a tool. The soul is the power. And that soul is all there in unity. Just like being here.
Yeah.
It's just a choice, like you were sharing. Fear or love with the love. Hey, it's positive. So turn it.
Yeah, if I could sum it up, I think what you're saying is that fear and love are a coin. And because what
Yeah,
you're saying is
yeah.
that today I see fear, I just flip the coin over. And then I can radiate into the love.
Yeah.
And the love will show me how to overcome that fear. Is that fair?
And the fear is in mind to begin with. I had to learn that.
The fear is in mind.
It is not mine to begin.
Oh, it's not yours.
It's
It's
not-
it's
Well,
not
that
source.
is
Yeah.
really good. Because that watch out brain isn't you.
Correct.
That is millions of years of programming. And again, let it be. It's okay. Any other ideas?
I just have to share that, I know you use the word try frequently in that one subject. When you use the word try, you're not. So it's a great word to remove from your vocabulary, not all, it's a great word. But
Right.
it takes long, but once it's gone, it makes a big difference.
You're saying use more positive or focused words.
Do or do not try.
Star Trek.
Yes. Star Wars, yeah. Yoda.
Anybody else? Yes.
Move your body.
Well, explain. She said move your body.
Yeah.
It helps alleviate the stress, like dancing, exercise.
Yeah, you're talking about the body-mind connection. It's interesting. We get very used to our mind thinking that controls the body, but we forget the body can control the mind. So literally just moving can shift the signal that maybe this isn't what we think it is. So anybody else want to? Yes.
I would say judgment is an assault on your soul. And when we judge ourselves, we're not focusing on our higher selves. Because our higher self knows what we need, what we can do, what we want to do, but we tend to try and override things like that. And when you allow, especially when you allow external forces to tell you what you are and what you are not, what you can do, what you can't do, it's even more of an attack because those things, those people do not know who you are. They think they do because they're making an external judgment
Yeah.
and they're comparing you to them or to something else. And they have absolutely no right to do that because they don't know who you are. And yet the comment you were making about, I'm gonna say capitalism, trying to sell us all the things that we need
Right.
is constantly an assault to us because everything's always telling us that we're not enough. And we absolutely are. And if we make a choice to buy the car or buy the clothes or whatever, it's because we want to, not because we're not enough.
Right.
Or at least that should be the decision.
Yeah, it's interesting, you're talking about that, going back to Star Trek, when you said Star Wars, last thing, Star Trek.
Okay.
Lieutenant Worf at one time is challenged about how comfortable he's a Klingon, and Klingons are warriors, and they're like, and how comfortable his quarters are, and he says, my quarters serve me. And I kind of, when you were talking about that, I was like, am I doing something because it serves me, or am I serving it? And I think when we are serving it, we're in the stage that you're talking about, that we're letting the judgment attack us and not be who we should be.
I love what Alana said, and one step further, I don't have a right to judge anyone, so if I'm judging someone else, I'm not dealing with myself.
Yeah. Pretty fingers pointing back.
I was just gonna say, I had to really examine my belief systems, where they came from. I had to look at past traumas. I had to heal from all that before I could believe that I was not.
I
Because so
agree.
many people told me I wasn't.
Right.
And I had to just change those tapes, but it's not as easy as it sounds. I mean, it's something that you have to commit to every day. And when I start having negative dialogue go in my head, then I choose not to just ignore it. I mean, because you can't. Our world is whatever we perceive it to be. We create it by what we choose. Our thoughts trigger our emotions. So change your thoughts.
Yep.
And get rid of those negative thoughts.
I think you're absolutely right, and I think that sometimes we think things should be instantaneous, and that's what gets us into trouble. I think the reality is, in our life, we are driving this huge ship that is really long. And well, what we can do is turn the rudder 2 degrees one way or 2 degrees the other way. And most of us, we turn it, oh, it's not moving, oh, we turn it the other way, not moving.
Yeah.
And basically, you just keep going straight. It is only hanging on to that wheel and letting time work before the ship will turn. And that's why it's so frustrating to us, because we're like, oh, I don't see it, and the whispering starts happening. Just so maybe, my life, when I'm thinking, like, oh, am I still hanging on to that rudder? No, I need to hang on to it a little bit longer to let the process happen. So I need to go ahead and wrap up. I think that it is amazing that we are all here today. And why? Because there are millions of your ancestors who made decisions that allowed you to be here.
Yeah.
They either ran faster than their neighbor,
Or.
they were a little bit smarter than their neighbor, or they just got too lucky. But that millions of ancestors, millions of decisions was a wave that brought you into existence. And now you are beautiful. You are part of that wave that brought you into existence. And personally, I'm like, if that's not enough to realize that I'm okay just the way I am, then I think about, I'm not part of that wave that's making decisions and doing things that is going to affect somebody in years from now. And I think that's really, really profound and really beautiful. That we're really part of a wave, part of a cycle. And I think that alone, when you look in the mirror, laugh.
Yep.
Maybe it's time to say I love you. Realize that nobody else's opinion matters. It's you. And that person in that mirror is Hannah. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much, Doug. And if you would like to share your resources with Unity Center of Des Moines, now is your opportunity to do so. If you are like me and rarely carry cash, we also can accept donations via the Venmo code that's in the basket. It's also in the entryway, and we can also accept Zelle. And Zelle is nice because it allows you to set up a recurring donation if that is something that you are called to do. But regardless of what your contributions are, whether they're on a financial, physical, energetic, or spiritual level, we want to offer the following affirmation. I am infinitely abundant, divine love through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I thankfully acknowledge the divine source.
This is the day I get to sing one of my favorite songs. And the writer was one of the first leaders of a boy band. But he was a very good songwriter, even though the boys were on the beach. There's a place where I can go and tell my secrets to in my there's a world where I walk out all my worries and fears in my mind. You in my sea, lie away and pray. In my sky, I find day. Now it's dark and I won't be afraid. In my in my mind.
Yes. I would like to dedicate this offering to do the work of spirit and truth to the people of Unity Center of Des Moines, and we are grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. And Linda is holding up a CD.
If you want a Dennis Kane CD, I have them in the back table.
Oh, so Dennis has been singing some original songs recently, and Linda Klein has CDs recorded of his original music, or maybe you do some covers.
Yeah.
Well, somebody has, she's got the CDs in the back. All right, we're wrapping up our service for today. And let's all stand, if you can handle that, and follow Deb as she leads us through the universal greeting of peace from the Gandhi Foundation. I offer you peace. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. I hear your needs. I feel your feelings. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the higher source. Wisdom flows from the higher source. And I salute that source in you. And I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and love. Let us work together for unity and love. All right, well, if everyone can make a great big circle around the room, we will sing the closing song together. We usually hold hands. If you don't want to hold hands, that is okay. You can put your hands over your heart. And then as a reminder, we've got food. Okay. The light of the divine surrounds us. The love of the divine holds us. The power of the divine protects us. The presence of the divine watches over us. Wherever we are, all divine is, and all is well. All right, thank you. Help yourself, and at 12:15, we'll gather up in a circle and have a community discussion. Thanks, everybody. Hope to see you next week.